encourage you that your name is in rooms that you have not even entered into yet. And who is that for? That is for those of us who we've been working towards something. You know, God has given us an assignment, and we've been working toward the assignment. And then let's be honest, like sometimes you get weary in the midst of your well-doing. And you know, sometimes you need to know that God has put you on somebody else's mind that's in a position to bless you right where you are and bless you to take what you're doing to the next level. So I wanted to encourage you that even when you know, for those of us, you know, God gives people different desires. And there are some of us, we do desire to do big things. You know, sometimes God has already shown us that we might be on a big stage, or maybe your thing is you're going to be on television, or you're going to be a great preacher, or your book is going to be an international bestseller, or, you know, whatever it is that God has shown you about you. Sometimes the enemy will make us feel like we are never going to accomplish that nobody's ever going to know us outside of our local area. You know, because for some of us, that's a problem. I don't know if you're like me and you sometimes have felt like you're too small for your area. But what I wanted to do is encourage you is that, you know, we hear it all the time. Life happens in seasons. You know, the Bible lets us know that there is a time and a season for everything. And so what does that mean for us? In life and in ministry and in business? That means that you're going to have different peaks and valleys. There's going to be a time where everything is just popping, where your phone is ringing nonstop, right? Your phone's ringing nonstop. You know, people are always needing you to go here, there, and everywhere. And then there's a season when everything just seemingly stops, right? Like sometimes the phone calls stop. And then sometimes, let's say if you have clients, sometimes you have a season where the clients are just getting on your nerves, right? And it's in those seasons where the enemy really gets into our mind and makes us feel like, and we get overwhelmed, and we feel like nothing we do is going to ever prosper. And that's when we feel like nobody's going to ever know what we're doing. Nobody's going to ever know our name. Nobody's going to ever know the name of our business or whatever it is that we're doing. But I wanted to encourage you, because I'm telling you, your name's already being mentioned in rooms that you don't even know about, right? People are talking about you and you don't even know who they are. People are in a position to bless you and you don't even know it yet. So I wanted to tell you, do not quit. If you're finding yourself in this downward slope, in this down season, that's the time to rest. Because if you're anything like me, you won't say no, right? You know, sometimes, you know, when those calls keep coming in, I'm like, high five, Jesus, there's another call, right? And then I won't take the rest. And so what I love about God is that he just already knows how to insert these rests into our life and into the growth pattern of our ministry, our business, whatever it might be. God divinely places those in our life. And so it's during those times when you are in a rest season, in a down season, that's when you rest, and that's when you prepare for your next level. How do you know you're getting ready to go to the next level? All I can do is tell you the blueprint of my life. The blueprint of my life is I have these moments where like I said, everything seems like it is popping. I'm everywhere. Somebody always needs me. Somebody always wants me to do something. I'm being hired to do this, that, and the third, right? And then the moment that I have that downward slope, I'm going to tell you, I battle depression. So that's when depression will try to creep its way in there. But now that I know what it is, I'm able to speak to that thing and I'm able to call that thing off of me, right? But when I notice that when that gets ready to happen, I've noticed that every single time that happens, that's when God is getting ready to transition me into my level next, right? So what is your next level? I don't know what your next level is. What I do know about my life right now is that I went through a chaotic 18 months of my life. My life felt completely chaotic. I didn't feel like anything was going to turn out right. I mean, you know, and you guys saw me still producing. I was still producing in the midst of that, but I'm going to be honest with you. You know, one of my most lucrative businesses, which is, you know, doing that of graphics design and working with authors all around the world with putting their books into print, I literally took a 6-month break. I took a 6-month break and nobody really knew it, but I've technically been on break since like June, July, however many months that is, but I know it's at least 6 months, right? And I was like, I just don't want to do this anymore. You know, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was having people were driving me insane. and I found myself snapping at everybody. And but what I learned is I learned how to speak up for myself. And in the midst of that, I was just like, I don't want to do this right now. I don't want to do this. And I said, God, I'm going to trust you. This is a large part of my income, but God, I'm going to trust you because I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm one of those people, if it's not something my heart is in, I'm not going to give it the very best that I can give it. You know what I mean? And so I said, okay, God, I'm taking this break. I need the break. And then the moment that I told God, all right, God, I'll take on a couple of clients. I got 3 clients in the same day. It was crazy, you know? But even in the midst of that, I took that time to rest. I took that time to look at my brand. I took that time to say, okay, God, I'm ready to do this thing that I've been running away from for the last 20 years, God. Okay. And the moment that I said, all right, God, what's my next level? God began showing me what was going to happen in dreams. Those that are closest to me that I actually pay attention to, God told them what I was supposed to do. So it was a confirming word. And the moment that I said yes, everything began to fall into place. So I wanted to encourage you that, sweetheart, things are going to pop off for you. So if you find yourself in that downward slope, if you're feeling like nobody knows your name and you know that your name is supposed to be out there, right? Because God has shown you that you're one of those people that are going to be in the forefront. Don't get weary about that, darling, because your name is in rooms that you haven't even entered into yet. You got to just hold on to the promises of God, hold on to those promises and begin to speak those over your life. I started writing down the promises because a lot of times we'll get a prophetic word, right? And do you write them down? You know, I write them down. And in those moments when I'm feeling like I'm in a downward slope, that is when I'll go back and I'll read over the promises that God has spoken over my life. And, you know, I just love how he makes himself large. So listen, keep that in the forefront of your mind. Sweetie, baby, your name is in rooms you haven't even put your big toe in. People are talking about you. Somebody's getting ready to bless you right now, next week, next year. I don't know when it's going to be, but when they get ready to bless you, don't be getting ready for the blessing. You need to already be ready. Don't get ready. Be ready for that blessing. Be ready for your next level. Because if God throws something amazing in your hands, what are you going to do with it? If God has already said who you're going to be, I tell people this all the time. I'm like, the beautiful thing about us serving God is that we already come packed with an entourage, right? We got the Father, Son, Holy Spirit that are our holy divine entourage. You know, we already come in with a built-in board of directors. We have an amazing board of advisors who have already said to us, this is who you're going to be, right? A lot of the people in the world, they don't have the privilege, right? They don't have the privilege of knowing who they're going to be and the true success. So all they do is go off of their own opinion and their own belief system. Now, that's not necessarily a wrong thing that you believe highly of yourself. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that when you roll with the holy entourage, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, hey, how you doing, Telly? When you roll with that holy entourage, that entourage is already giving you advice. That entourage has already told you this is what is going to happen in your life. This is who you're going to impact with by doing this, that, and the third. Now, no, we don't always know the full scope of what God has planned for us. But what I love is that God gives us a little bit of a roadmap, right? So when you feel yourself feeling depressed, remember to take things day by day. If day by day is too much of a chunk of time, if it's too big of a chunk of time, then take it moment by moment. It's baby steps. But what you got to do is recall to yourself the promises that God has placed deep within you. Isn't that right, Nelly? Isn't that right, Minister Dawn? You got to recall those things and bring those back to the forefront of your mind. So, baby, your name is in rooms you haven't even put that pinky toe in. What? Get ready. Figure out what hair you plan on wearing, honey, right? Figure out what shoes you're about to put on. Get ready for those dancing shoes because it's about to manifest. Listen, guys, I'm Tamika Hall. You know I love you. You were created to make God famous, and you guys have a blessed day.